Good evening, everybody. Welcome to BS Session 41. I have no witty intro, but I am here with Jamie Barkwell tonight. Thanks for coming out. Enjoy the show.
Because I have a shotgun and rifle that I use for, and 22 gauge that I use for ptarmigan, moose, and black bear.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS, Ballistically Speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.
Nobody here. When I hit the button, it read 0 on the top of the screen. I'm like,
nobody here yet.
Come on.
I even shared this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had my head up my ass for so long trying to get this project closed out.
I see Scott saying
there's
hi.
Scotty. Hey.
Hi.
Yeah. My girlfriend Nancy. Devoted viewer for the first 10 minutes or so until we start talking about guns. She goes, fuck, I'm not interested in that shit. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
What are you talking about, guns?
That's right. Yeah. When are you going to be home?
You got Dan.
Yeah. Oh, Dan's here.
Yeah.
Perry, what are you doing? Yenzi's here. Good to see you guys. All right. Well, like I said, welcome to BS Session 41. Thanks for coming out. You know what? I'm just going to jump into some of the bill paying here. We've got tonight, as always, we have Bolt Action Coffee for world-class specialty coffee from world-class Canadian Forces veterans. Go to boltactioncoffee.com. Order up some coffee for any occasion, and while you're there, check out their great line of apparel, mugs, stickers, and patches. Help support a great veterans organization and us in some fashion, I suppose. I should ask for a discount for every order they get off the show. I don't know how the hell you manage that, but it's a good thought anyway. Call sign 66. If you're just starting out in the precision shooting world, or if you want to refine the skills that you already possess, train with call sign 66 for standard setting instruction and become part of the reason why Canadian precision riflemen are renowned worldwide for being some of the most proficient in their craft. Collaboration and contribution are vital to team success. Welcome to the Brotherhood. For upcoming training dates and to find out more about the call sign 66 team, go to callsign66.ca, and call sign's working on a couple of really, really interesting events. They have some property in southern Alberta that they're going to be hosting shoots on, like training courses. And they've got up to 4 kilometers worth of shootable area. And it sounds like kind of an all-inclusive resort. There's a place there that the folks that own the property, they'll host events, like they host weddings for the most part, and like all meals and everything else included. So watch out for that stuff. That information will be up on their website at callsign66.ca. Our other sponsors, EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta, building Canada's finest precision rifles. Commission a build with them today at emprifles.ca. Odell Engineering, pick up a Canuck shotgun or Bergara rifle from your local distributor and tell them Phil sent you. Find them at odellengineeringltd.com. Apex Optics. When you buy Apex, precision comes standard. Find them at apexoptics.co and grab yourself a Rival 4-32 rifle scope and shut your phone off while you're doing a podcast. Ribstone Gunsmithing, craftsmanship done right. Contact Oscar at ribstonegunsmithing.ca and breathe life back into any firearm. March Scopes Canada, the Dion Optical Design line of rifle scopes, has a scope for all your hunting and shooting needs. Find Doug and Nisa at marchscopes.ca. And finally, our newest sponsor, the Shooting Edge in Calgary, Alberta. The Shooting Sports retail store with indoor range, education and training, laser engraving, fine firearms, and much more. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and on their website at theshootingedge.com. That takes care of that. How you doing, Jamie?
Doing good. Doing good.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You've been here before.
I've been here before. I think last time we went totally off the rails, so we'll try to stay on the rails a little bit.
Yeah, off the rails is fun.
Just got to watch who's watching. Jamie Barkwell, Cadex Defense, Vortex Canada, and PRS shooter. Lately, I've been more of a coach than a shooter, but I'm still competing in the a few series here and there. Other than that, I've been keeping everything, keeping myself as busy as I can. And if I ain't working or shooting, I'm in the bush, being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
You're in the bush a lot, hey?
I am. So
Nice.
yeah,
You and your pups.
yeah, me and my two pups. Unfortunately, one of them, he's not doing so good. The age is catching up to him, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Yeah, he actually has a condition called sundown syndrome.
Oh, what the heck is that?
So he's a normal dog when the sun's up, and as soon as the sun goes down, he's like a crazy child. I think children are creepy, by the way, but he'll like stand in the door and like stare into the darkness.
Is that right?
He's non-responsive. It's like he's seeing ghosts and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe he sees stuff that we can't.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, he's fine. But he is a shepherd, and his hips are starting to give him issues too. So.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, none of us get out of this thing alive, do we?
No, for sure. That's for sure. But other than that, this year, usually I fish close to 100 lakes a year. This year, I've only fished one, and that fishing trip caused a pretty good hip injury when I rolled my bike on me. So.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I'm a little on the stiff and sore side. It's been a month, just over a month now.
Okay.
I don't know if it was the crash that got me or the adrenaline rush after when I rolled the bike back onto its side.
Right. Yeah.
Those things are a lot heavier than they look. I think
Right.
my bike weighs around 800 pounds.
And what is it?
It's a 570 Polaris Sport.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got those massive square tires, so there's no rounded edges. So it's like trying to flip a brick.
Perfect.
And, I did end up getting it back on its wheels by myself, and my upper body and my hip were just destroyed like the day after. So
Yeah.
and I always limp and gimp on the right side anyway, so now I'm just limping and gimping a little bit more. So.
Well, did it level it out or just make the one
Well,
side?
no, I almost wish it would have hurt. I almost wish it would have hurt my good side, not my bad side.
Right.
But other than that, no. This year, I'll be shooting the Northern Rimfire Series for sure. I'm going to try to get a couple of American centerfire matches in.
Mm-hmm.
As much time as I can in the kayak in the backcountry, and we've already started bear baiting. So bear season opens soon, so that'll be an archery thing. So we're looking forward to that. So
when does bear season open there for you?
I'll have to ask my buddy that does all the feeding, but we've been feeding them for a while. But I think it opens in like the next 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think unless things have changed, I haven't looked at it in several years now. But bear season typically opens in Saskatchewan 15th of April, I believe.
Yeah. So our baits, we have had one bear come so far, but last year we passed up on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're going to take the mature bears,
right,
and we'll go from there. But we got to obviously going to watch for cubs. But
yeah, you bet.
Last year the creepiest thing that happened was I was in the bear ground blind, and I had a bull moose go right behind me, a full charge. I thought he was going to get me, but I had 2 run-ins with Moose last year, so that was
Like,
one.
you mean he took exception to you being there, or he was
No, I
just
don't
passing
know.
by?
I don't know if it was late season. I don't know if it was maybe bull versus bull,
Oh, okay.
and he was decided that our pathway was the path of least resistance. And yeah, he was probably within 10, 15 feet of the ground blind when he went behind me. I thought I was going to get run over, and was like,
Right.
Yeah.
That'll get the adrenaline running a bit.
yeah.
Hey.
And then last fall, I also had an immature bull see me in the kayak, and
Okay.
gave me a chase while I was kayak fishing. So
Is that right?
they can swim faster than you can
Oh
think.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when he
It's
got to-
amazing
when he got to the point that he realized he couldn't keep up to me, he went to shore, and then he could keep up to me. He was running parallel with me to shore.
Is that right?
And then when I got to the campsite and got out of the boat, that's where he kind of had the
Oh, okay. Yeah. The rethink.
yeah, but that got the heart rate going. So
No kidding.
yeah,
It's hard to know what the hell goes through their minds. I've seen some stuff with Moose. You just kind of go like, what the fuck?
yeah. As soon as their eyes do that googly thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been known to have that
Yeah.
once in a while too, but that's
Like
more
scanner.
when I was
What
younger.
movie was that? The Scanners, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, other than that, everything's been good. We
Good
just
deal.
did the first match of the year last weekend. It was good because we had no positional training time, because the day before we left the match, they put us snow at our location, and -7, and then
Okay.
we went to Southern Ontario and went up to 29, I believe, and people were starting to
Holy
get sunstroked out and sunburnt.
wow.
So other than a few Joe Biden moments, I probably would have been just outside of the top 10 if it wasn't for the one Joe Biden. But everybody has those moments, so everybody would have been a few positions higher. But
Let's go, Brandon.
yeah, let's go, Brandon. Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got planned then for shoots this year? Anything solidified yet?
So what I've got planned is I do private courses, usually with no more than 2 students at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And the first course is coming up. It's coming up in May. It's how the hell does my scope work course.
Okay.
And the amount of people that really do not understand how their optics work.
Yep.
And and then when we go over the setups, there's people that literally shoot phenomenally well
Mm-hmm.
while shooting with total parallax, not being able to see a full image through their scope. And their scope is basically a 13-inch long peep sight, but they can shoot a teeny tiny group because they're consistent, right? And and then you get the older group, or the less fit group that are affected by blood sugar. They don't know that you might have to change your ocular setting maybe once or twice a day.
Is that right? Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are, don't drink coffee the day of a match. Well, I'm addicted to coffee. If I'm not drinking coffee on the day of a match, I'm going through withdrawals.
Right. Something's missing. Like if you have that every waking day, and then you decide not to do it, it's your body's probably like,
you have to stay with the habit. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I generally eat like 1 meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
I do 24-hour fasting, and so me not going, I can go a whole day without eating because that's normal. Yep. That's normal. Yeah. But if you're a person that has 3 meals a day, if you're at a match, you better be eating while you're at the match, because you're going to start getting the wobble zone is going to get really big.
What happens if you have that all the time, though?
Get wider and work on your natural point of aim.
Right. I'm already too wide.
Well,
We won't go into
get your
that.
stance wider then.
Okay.
Work on getting your stance wider.
Right.
Last weekend, my first bonehead of the match was a simple tank trap stage.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
for some reason, I decided to straddle the tank trap,
Right.
and instead of just moving a foot over and square behind the gun, I shot that position without natural point of aim,
Right.
and that's where I dropped the points.
Because you decided to do that because of the clock or what?
Yeah. And
That's
then I still
seriously-
finished with like 58 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If I had it to do all over again.
Well, the thing is, like, I come from a background of like 3-gun, and when we get into PRS and everyone worries about par times, whether it's a minute 5 or a minute 45 or 2 minutes, or
Right.
I've shot entire IPSC matches that I don't think were 2 minutes
Okay.
for
Yeah.
10 stages
Is that right?
with like 3 times the round count, right? So,
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like, I think years ago we did a stage, it was the John Wick stage
Okay.
in a 3-gun match. And I think it worked out to being 20 rounds of pistol, 20 rounds of shotgun, 20 rounds of rifle. And I think we ended up doing it. Top guy did it in like 55 seconds.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's hustling.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And I was just under that pace. And you look at it, and that's almost a higher round count than in an entire PRS match.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah. But other than that, working on coaching that scope clinic, that's going to be good. It looks like it's going to book up pretty good.
Good. Yeah.
Even for people with a shoot MOA.
It'll challenge your mind now, switching back to that.
Yeah, I got a computer for that.
Right.
But no, and then I do private 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 courses. I never take more than 2 at a time. Private property, and we can get out to about just shy of 900.
Right.
And, take people out, and they're surprised when their second distance after I confirm their 0. We go to 550.
Right.
I chew them up there, then we go out to 900, get them down to the target, then bring them back in. I'm like, do you want to keep going?
Right.
Let's get into positional shooting. So yeah.
Right. So what are most of the people coming to you for? Is it that positional type stuff, or is it just kind of strictly I want to learn how to shoot long range?
I think.
Or is there a mix of everything?
A mix of both. I don't think I've ever seen anyone not smile when they hit their furthest target.
100%, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine that never shot past, I think it was 500, and he bought a rifle off of me, and I took him out with, I think we were shooting Hornady Black 6 Creedmoor.
Okay. Yeah.
And he shot a 5-inch group at 900 yards.
Oh, is that right?
So
wow, that's pretty
how do you not smile?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So it's good. And then wind coaching. I try not to get into the Kestrel teaching that much. I want people to be proficient first before they lean on technology.
Yeah, well, that's something that most shooters I think can tackle themselves. At least for the basic to intermediate stuff. Some of the fine tuning in that. Yeah, there are people out there that can help with that, but I think that's something that can be done playing on the couch and then on your own time, sort of seeing what the adjustment effects are downrange when you after your fundamentals are kind of tuned up well. So
yeah, another thing I've noticed too is I'm trying to put a name to it. I don't think I'm the only person that's ever thought of it, but when they got the 3 circles that overlap each other.
Sure, Venn diagram.
And then you got the center.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a theory, and I've talked to other people about it before, but you can take an average shooter with an average system
Mm-hmm.
and produce phenomenal results. If you take a phenomenal shooter with an average system, he's going to get average results because he's going to get the most out of it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you take someone that is a nominal at best shooter and put him behind a quarter MOA rifle,
right?
If that round breaks, if he breaks that shot off the plate, he's not hitting the plate,
right?
Yep. And then who do they blame? They don't blame. Mm-hmm. They blame.
Right. It's
funny
the justifications we come up with.
How is that new chassis holding up behind me? Love it. I've got 2 of them. It's the most balanced and easy to adjust chassis I've ever ran.
And which one is that, Jamie?
That's the Pro.
Okay, yeah.
Our new Pro. Well, it was last year we released it, but it didn't really get into the wild until this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can weight it up if you need to. I'm not a weight up guy. I don't want my rifle to weigh that much. I want balance.
Right.
And I can handle the violent
right
recoil of 6BR.
What else are you shooting there? You got your 6BR.
6BR and 223 primarily. 6 Creedmoor and then rimfire. But the rimfire has been, like when you got a little guy like that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you need comparison. So out there in Wonderland, I'm trying to do that the right way. Out there in Wonderland, what's on the right and what's on the left? But other than that, 223, I find that invaluable as well with proper ammunition. 223 to 900, 800, no problem for a good shooter.
Right.
And then an average shooter or one that's taking a course, usually by the end of the day, 5-inch head box at 700 is pretty common, unless wind is a big factor. But
right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that you hand load. I was going to ask you.
Actually, I do like hand loading, but I do shoot factory if I can.
Okay.
Just in case, like the last match I shot out west, I was overweight, so I got inside arms to bring me the ammo to the match, and I shot factory.
Sure.
Yeah.
And which gun was that?
6 Creedmoor. That was light competition. Light competition 6 Creedmoor and Federal Gold Medal match 105 burgers.
Right.
It's amazing ammo out of the box.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, and then I left all the brass behind, and everybody was all happy, and I got to fly home without extra weight.
Right. We have a fairly consistent discussion about hand-loaded versus factory ammo, and both have their merits for sure.
100%. Anybody that thinks they're going to hand load and save money is lying to themselves. Even with today's prices, you're just going to spend the same amount of money but shoot more.
Well, what happens if you never get out to shoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yenzi tried to get to the range, our range out at the farm last Saturday, and he just sent me a picture with his truck stuck in about this much snow. There's about a 4-mile trail to get down to the range, and it blows in hard every year.
Yeah.
Never able to get down there until the end of April. So, yeah. But he's itching to get out. So
we've got a really good setup at Dan Castillo's house for rimfire only.
Okay.
And it's I think we got 302. He'll probably correct me. No, it's 320.
Okay.
302 or 320 for the rimfire. So one thing I noticed at this match here is I did manage to get 3 points of information. Temperature information, and plug that into the Kestrel, and I kept my Kestrel live the entire match.
Okay.
The match was 105 rounds, I think. And I don't think I did not see one projectile in flight. Everything, any miss that I had was 100% me.
Okay.
It wasn't it was either a bad wind call or I didn't return to zero and I dealt the wrong dope on the next stage. The last stage of the day, that's what happened.
I've never done that in my life.
Yeah. Usually if one of my students that do it, I break out the paint pen and a big RTZ gets written on their scope. So
that's funny. What rimfire setup do you have?
So right now I'm running this boy over here, which is funny because my rimfire weighs more than my center fire. But I'm running. The chamber flag just fell out. So that's a Pro chassis.
Okay. Yeah.
A Bagara B14 Action, which has been surprisingly good considering that a lot of people complain about them. I did everything the right way first. I've had no feeding issues. IBI 1 and 12. Okay. I think if I had a do-over, I would probably do a 14. I don't know if I'd do a 12 again. Okay. I think the 12 spin drift starts to come into play a little bit.
Is that right? I was going to ask why that
is.
Like
I can center punch our wind reader at 200 all the time, and everything past 200 is always going.
Is that right? Yeah.
Well, I think the 14 and maybe a longer barrel. The reason this weighs more than the red gun behind it is because the barrel length, right? So it's not balanced out as much as it should be.
Sure, yeah.
And then of course I'm running the Vortex Razor Gen 3 and a Venom red dot on top.
Oh yeah.
And then I only use the red dot to find the targets that I can't actually. The odd time you see targets that, you know where they are, so you can index a landmark, put the dot on it, and then that target will be in your field of view.
Right. You find that comes in really handy, or is it just kind of a nice to have every so often?
It's nice to have when you need it. I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
I saw an older couple at a match, and their idea was they basically put a red paint dot pen on the top, and they had an index point on the back of their scope, so they were muzzle upping, and then just dropping onto it. So it was almost like an iron sight.
Going analog.
Batteries never die.
That's right. Yeah.
But no, usually that setup, the red dot, I'll end up using it maybe twice a match, 3 times a match, depending on where the match is.
Yeah. Well, it does get frustrating when you can't bloody well find a target, for sure.
Well, and the thing that gets me is the color blue. Like if you got a blue target indicator, blue disappears. Like you'd think blue would stand out.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yep,
blue
for
just
sure.
gone. That was the one there was one stage where people were timing out without finding their targets. That was last year. And it was the target wasn't that far away. It was just a blue background, a blue backer, and it was gone.
Right. Yeah. Rick Antonio, we had the CRPS stuff out of my range last year, the nationals there, and then the King of Point 2 miles, and all that kind of stuff, and he had some of these blue targets set up, and I thought that was kind of a novel idea. I'd never seen targets painted blue before, and then we started shooting the damn things. And fuck you, Rick.
Yeah.
It was terrible. So backing up a little bit, these little courses that you put on for folks, just kind of wondering, do you ever break out the rim fires for that, for kind of the basic training, and then?
Yep, actually I do. The junior shooters, I definitely start them that way. And then you get a junior shooter doing 200, 300 yards with a 22.
Sure.
It's obviously cost effective.
Yeah.
It's easier to put 100 rounds down range of match grade 22 than it is to put 20 rounds of
certainly
match grade gold medal match or something down range. Also, they're not going to react to flinch. I find a lot of junior shooters react to flinch.
Well, that I think that's a what do I want to say? Like a numbers thing, right? They haven't a lot of them haven't put a lot of center fire rounds through,
Yeah.
so they're still kind of getting used to that. I think, and I think if you can start them out a little more softly, it probably benefits them. And I mean, they can concentrate more on the other fundamentals too, and then bring recoil uh, management into it after that. I would think, at least, anyway.
Well, yeah, and in my opinion, rimfire highlights natural point of aim.
Sure, it does. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I never
If
thought of that.
you ever get behind, like my 22 weighs 21 pounds, people are
Hmm.
like, oh, it won't move. It moves. If that crosshair moves, the bullet lands where the crosshair is.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It moves. The recoil in a rimfire starts at ignition, so it hasn't even left the barrel yet. It's already
Right.
moving,
Yeah.
right? So you got this little guy cooking at 2,800 or the 6 at 3,100.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm thoughtful of the people out here. So take my money
Yeah.
now. No lefty yet. Hopefully.
Are you a lefty, Jamie?
No,
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
no. I'm old enough that my parents beat that out of me.
Right. Yeah.
All you
I'm
people
having
that
some
left
freak in our house.
love you and like hit you more. But no.
Right. You're gonna write with your right hand, damn it.
Yeah. You think you can write with a cast?
That's-
No. That being said, I know a lot of people that like run righty guns shooting left.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stages. They're at a maximum. They're at an advantage.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah,
speed.
for sure.
They're never breaking their firing position, and if you got
Right.
a good support position,
Yeah.
they're,
Yeah, that's
they're good to go.
you betcha. Yeah. I've seen some pretty fast lefties out there. As much as I don't like to give them much credit, but
Yeah, especially with moving target.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Never considered that.
Yeah, if it's a moving target. My nephew last year, I think he cleaned the mover stage, or maybe dropped one in one pass.
Oh, is that right?
And it
Wow.
wasn't that long of ago, and it was just like bing, 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 bing with a bolt action. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. So take that.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. So the course clinics, usually it's just based on how the hell it works. People really don't understand how a scope actually works, how the lens stacks up, and what causes what to do what parallax does, what the
Right.
importance of parallax is. iBox. So like if you got blood sugar problems, like you might have to adjust it.
Hmm.
The importance of knowing how to shoot at a lower magnification too.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble with the other way, to be honest. I've always kind of shot, 8 to 12 power sort of thing on almost everything, and unless I'm doing real fine work like load development or something like that. But generally, I'm sort of a low power guy, and I've that with my ELR rig, I've got that March Genesis, that 6 to 60. And I just catch myself every so often that I'm floating around 25 or 30 or something like that, and I think, fuck you doing, get that sucker wound up out there.
Yeah,
Got all sorts of throttle
yeah,
on that thing.
as long as the Mirage is going to allow it. Like
That's right. Yeah.
when we were in Vegas for SHOT Show,
Yeah.
we had a target at 1200.
Right.
And if that was 1200 at my place, well, actually, the first thing I said is, no, bullshit. That's not 1200 yards.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at a perfectly square target at 1200 yards with my naked eye.
Yeah. Man,
So-
that was clear down there. Hey, like it
Put the
was just
laser on it. It's like
flat and open.
1200. That's
Right.
1200. And I'm like, okay, that actually is 1200. But at my place, like, we get days where, 900, that a full size bear target,
Right.
the lob.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's sitting there doing this and
Yeah.
shaking around. Which one do I shoot at?
Yeah. Which watermark am I aiming at?
Yeah. Right.
But so I focus on that, and then usually we step forward from that. I tend to focus on the junior shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against ladies, but as much as I like ladies' days, I'd like to see family days.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think ladies are the future of the sport. The family is the future of the sport.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. There's very few ladies I think that go out and sort of do it on their own. I think most of them probably enjoy it more. And of course, speaking not a lady, with either friends or their kids.
You'd be a
Having
very
kids out is great. Hey.
you'd be a very pretty lady.
Well, you know what? Maybe by today's standards, fuck, you never know.
Little lipstick and rouge there.
Yeah,
Huh?
we're gonna talk about something else.
Yeah. No, but no, I like to focus on the nothing against Ladies' Day, but like a family day.
Yeah.
Junior shooters. So I've got one new junior shooter under my wing this year. So
Okay.
she's going to shoot the club matches. Like we've got our own little Wednesday, Thursday matches first.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then she might shoot a finale at the end of the year in Magnetawan, which is like 40 minutes for me.
Mm-hmm.
She might shoot that. Will be her first real match.
Okay.
But she's interested in it. It's one of those things where she's in a house that she's got two brothers and she doesn't have a thing that's hers.
Oh,
But her mother is the hunter. Her mother is the hunter.
is that right? Yeah.
And her brothers are the video gamers, right? So
Oh,
like everybody needs to find something that they can call their own.
yeah, you bet. Yeah, and you're like, all right, come with me. We're gonna fix you up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got two full-time students now, and I've got another one in the works, and then the clinic. So it'll be fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Dan Castillo. He thinks I've been drinking the Bud Light. Not a bloody chance. Sorry.
No,
That's one, Dan.
one more, and you're
That's right. So Cadex, what's going on there? What precisely do you do for Cadex then, Jamie?
So I'm a sales rep, and I do some other stuff there too as well.
Classified stuff?
Oh, top secret. But some of the stuff that's going on, like we can't say too much because of world events, but we are extremely busy right now.
That's good.
We're starting to catch up. We're bringing more robots online.
Oh, was that right?
For
Okay.
production. So it's neat to see them go. That's how we were able to get some of our prices down.
Yeah.
Was by putting a robot behind the machine.
Right. What have you seen with materials prices, aluminum and steel lately?
Everything's went up, and
Right.
anything polymer related
Yeah.
is the big driver right now.
Yeah, we've seen that even with poly pipe and that at where I work. It's just unreal what supply and prices have done over the last 3 years. It's just crazy.
We did our best not to jump too
Mhm.
high on the 2023 price ranges. I think we stayed right in the right bottom line market.
Right.
I know a lot of people did have to jump because they stayed at the same place for too long, and then it was a little bit of a shock.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It forces manufacturers into a corner eventually. You can try and hold off as long as you can, but in the end, your margins tighten up so much you just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and like I'm obviously not an accountant or a numbers person, but when you're looking at 90-ish employees,
Right. Yeah.
you're looking at payroll.
That's a lot of mouths to feed. Yeah. Boone is saying, I'm still waiting for those Cadex clip-on night vision units to hit the civvy market.
Place an order for 200 units, and we'll talk. I'm not trying to be ignorant. No, it's just the world demand right now.
Yeah.
We could do it if we could do it, and right now we just can't do it.
Mhm.
A couple of our dealers that are phenomenal. I don't really know if they're doing any thermal rifle stuff, but Cold Harbor and Op4 Night Solutions. and then Alpha Optics. Alpha Optics is doing thermal clip-ons. I know, like thermal clip-ons for a rifle. So if you have something like, yes, I brought them all out of the safe. But yeah, so if you're running something like a thermal bridge and the right mount height, you can run a thermal clip-on in front of your day optic on most of our chassis.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's so with like you say, world events and stuff like that, and your production being busy with that, how is that affecting the commercial market? Is it stretching out lead times for those builds?
About everybody, like everybody's sitting at about the same timeline on both ends, unless it's something I don't want to speak out of my lane, but unless it's like an emergency, everybody's pretty much sitting at the same timeline.
Okay, yeah.
And we are actually seeing timelines pick up in speed.
Oh, that's good.
So generally, we're saying 6 to 8 months for a rifle. But we've got so many good dealers across the across Canada. Like you got Red Deer, Barton, Shane builds with our actions.
Yeah.
So you've got so many people that in your area, like Alberta, that really the hub of our sales, because you guys actually can see more than 1,000 yards.
Yeah, right. Hey.
And so yeah, like the amount of actions that are going west for the King of 2 Mile and Furlong, and Furlong's another one of our dealers.
Sure,
well,
right?
So you've got so many people. Like, sure, you can come and buy direct from us, but our dealers are usually the ones, unless you're 100% stuck on a color that a dealer doesn't have.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the Pro chassis, everybody wants them. Barton's has got them in stock.
Did you cut out or did I cut out?
Oh, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now. I don't know whether that's you or me. Every once in a while, the camp internet here kind of shits the bed a little bit.
Boone has a Kraken on order.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Yeah, Steve with the Precision Rifles built 375. What the hell did he build? It was an enabler this year.
Actually, both
with Cadex stuff.
They're both running one of our enablers. Well, our actions and chassis, they're doing the barrel. I think they needed it for the barrel length. They wanted to go super long, Yeah. Shane's been in the gym so much, he's got to make that barrel look longer. So I hope Shane's watching.
Well, he usually at least listens while he's driving sometime afterward or something. So
no, but the dealer market is good, and there is stock to be found. So
so you're kind of a tangent here, but you're big boomers. What barrel lengths do you offer them in? Speaking of
the enabler, we can go up to 32 right now.
Okay.
I think we might go up to 36 shortly. It looked like a UFO just flew by the back of your head.
Say that again?
It looked like a UFO just flew by the back of your head.
Oh, it could be. It's my ghost here.
Oh, okay.
Get your dog.
We've all got ghosts. But yeah, so other than that, no, everything's been going that way.
Good.
With Vortex has been kick-ass. Awesome support. And can't
excellent.
The Gen 3 was definitely an improvement. Not that there's anything wrong with the Gen 2, but I find I am shooting in a higher. Oh, there's Steve.
Yeah.
I don't make fun of Steve, but I like making fun of Shane.
Oh, 100%.
But with the Gen 3, the last match, I shot between 17 and 20 power most of the time.
Okay, yeah.
Because I still got full reticle. And, Parallax is forgiving enough that we were good.
That is a nice piece of glass. I have to admit that I have never been a huge advocate of Vortex optics. You know, like they have their place and everything, but I just never did take a shine to them. And then it was a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, that Ken sent me a Gen 3 to test and review, and a very limited time. He said he had to have it back within 3 weeks or something like that, and because the demand was too much. But man, I took that thing through its paces, and it is very impressive glass. That thing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, even though it was MOA. That's all he had to offer me. So, so I took it.
Bigger numbers, I'm lost.
Right, exactly.
Why is there so many numbers?
Yeah. So no, that was really good.
And the zero set feature is like so awesome.
That was a little bit interesting to get used to, or try and wrap my head around how the hell that was done. But that's a kind of a cool feature that they incorporated into that.
Well, we did a test on our mount, not our QD mount, just our standard mount.
Okay.
But using torque limiters, so everything being equal, paint marks, same slots.
Yeah.
So I think I am running a 50 MOA rail on my rim fire.
Holy cow! Yeah. Okay.
And a 20 on my center fire.
Right.
And I am exactly 1 full rev difference between.
Is that right?
The other, and I was switching them back and forth and shooting groups, and it was shooting fine.
Yeah.
And then I also did the same thing actually with that's the LHT, the hunting scope.
Sure.
And I run that on the 223. I actually shot a match with that because it was a short range match, so we didn't have to go past 6 mil anyways.
Okay.
And I also run it on my coyote rig, and so the 6BR and the 223 elevation is perfect for both like MOA rails.
Okay.
4/10 difference of wind.
Is that right?
And then I just dial the 4/10 on. I never dial wind anyways. Put the cap back on and off.
Right. Yeah.
And I've learned to start keeping notes on absolutely everything. I've slimmed down. It's weird because I've slimmed down my gear to an absolute minimum this year.
Okay.
And I started at the end of last year, but like I'm just running a Bandit pack.
Oh.
Everly stock Bandit pack.
Right.
I made up some like an admin pouch that I can clip on my tripod out of like my junk drawer.
Right.
So this is it just opens up. It's got everything I need.
Yeah.
Hard data on paper, batteries die, fresh batteries, all that good stuff.
Right.
And then I've switched to the only thing I carry my rain gear. In that, the top lid's got my Fury binos, and then I kind of made up a plate bag with a Gray Ops plate and a Cortax Solutions bag. Now this bag does not weigh much more than 2 phones. Like,
is that right? Yeah.
I went as light as I can now.
Yeah.
When I'm bear hunting, I have an Arca to Arca rail. So the Arca will go on the plate, and I just flip it upside down. I'm in my blind, and then I'm shooting my crossbow or rifle off the top.
Right.
I can carry this. I can use it as a pillow. Like anything. So
throw it at the bear when it comes up the tree.
Yeah. Well, I usually hunt bear from the ground, so.
Oh, that's right too.
Yeah. Yeah. Cubs can be funny because they like to smell a lot. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But we do a pretty good setup where it's a 30-40 meter shot at the furthest. But to get to the bait, you have to take a very long route around to get to the bait. Right. So there's no direct scent line between one and the other.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the last thing. Yeah. I've seen people like newbies go out there and have bears come up their trees.
Yep.
Like if you hang the bucket with the bait on it on the bottom of your ladder.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah, exactly.
What else do you have? Do you use an ammo wallet then? You must in that pack.
I am so redneck that I keep the whenever I go to the gun club, I like dig through the garbage and I find the CCI like the stinger packs.
Okay, yeah.
And I just move I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on a piece of aluminum made by some cool guy,
Right.
so I can have something for free.
Right.
Yeah. So actually, I think just the
sure.
the good old fashioned. I just mark what ammo is on the top lid, and
right.
these fit inside the pack, no problem. I usually bring about 300 rounds to the match to me, just for fun, and if there's time, let other people shoot.
Right. Yeah, you bet. What about center fire ammo?
So center fire ammo, I do use an ammo wallet, and then the 6BR is the smallest plastic case you can use.
Yeah.
And, so it's very handy to like 50 rounds at a time, and then an ammo wallet.
Yeah, you bet. What kind of ammo wallet do you have?
I actually would have to find the stupid thing.
It don't matter. I know
it is a Canadian one made though. It was made in Canada. I don't know who made it, but it's well made.
I know I've gotten several things from Nomad Custom Gear.
Yeah.
And I was bugging him about an ammo wallet quite a while ago now. I haven't followed up. I think he is making some. So
yeah,
he makes good stuff. It's nice for sure.
Like when we were talking earlier about hand loading, like some people love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like load development.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that burns the barrel out before he gets what he wants.
Yeah.
So I found like the 6BR, it's 30 grains of Varget, 105 to a 107, then you're shooting a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, I think that's fairly common knowledge. There's so many. I've read so many things with that 6BR. Just throw 30 or 30 and a half grains of Varget at it and go.
Same thing with the 175 Match King. And when I shoot 308s, it's always short barrel, 16 and a half inch. And I usually shoot either the 175 Match Kings over IMR 4895 or the 185 Juggernauts. And they're so forgiving to load, like just.
Is that right? Yeah.
Just easy.
That's good. You getting into any of the ELR stuff, whether it's rimfire or center fire?
So not officially, not yet. I have taken my rimfire out to 700.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. No problems whatsoever. Well, I don't want to say no problems. Obviously, there's problems, but I've got it on the ice at 700.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only tricky spot for us, where I live, is it's all back lakes for an elevated position.
Right. Yeah.
If you're shooting flat, you get that illusion. Did that go over, or did I land short? Keep dialing up and up.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. You shoot out at furlongs range. They're way the hell out there, and it is pretty flat, but there's some sort of deceiving potholes between you and the target, but you have no chance of seeing what's that.
And a chunk of water. If you look at it at Google Earth, there's a chunk of water out there too.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Like I've only been to furlongs once, and I remember I dropped on one stage. It was a cattle gate stage, and my eyes told me that as far as you could see, that was a shadow of a cloud. Oh yeah. Drop the bag, drop the rifle, drop in, and it was like 1,000 cows.
Oh yeah.
But they're like miles and miles and miles away, right? So.
Well, this is a bit of a loaded question here, considering who our guest is and who he's associated with. But David Walcott wants to know which brand scope we would choose: Vortex, Leopold, or US Optics.
Well, if you're going to go Vortex, go obviously and stay in the Razor line. The Razor and the PST line is the way to go if you're going to be serious. The BST, you can get into a pretty good price optic for the quality.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm a pro staffer, and last year I was doing something stupid, and I crossed the creek, and my gun came out of my hand and bent the tube, and
Oh.
you know, that's something that that people say it's the warranty you need. Most of the time I've seen warranty issues is people don't read the instructions. Well, men don't do that anyways. And they try to set their zero stop without the zero being at the zero stop.
Right.
That's the biggest issue that usually happens with Vortex.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, I've never been a huge Vortex lover necessarily. That Gen 3 is a different story altogether, though. I mean, it doesn't, like I said, Vortex definitely has their place in a lot of situations or whatever, I guess. But it's so tough anymore because there's a lot of quality glass out there. All those brands that David mentioned. Leopold's been around for a very long time, and they've always been some of the top tier stuff.
I was a diehard Loopy fan
Sure.
for the longest time.
Yep.
And then what I found Leupold did, and this is, the Mark V's are great. Like at work, we have piles of Mark V's. Like, so this is Leupold. But what Leupold did, especially with the Mark IV line, is they were like Honda. They built the best four-wheeler.
Right.
And then they built that model for 25 years, and everybody passed them.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. I've said that a lot over the last several years. That's exactly it. I don't know what to call it. Rested on their laurels, or just just didn't continue development or whatever. But there's a lot of companies that caught up to them. I mean, we have so many good ones. There's obviously the Schmidt and Bender out there as well, and of course I'm kind of partial to Mark scopes and Apex Optics brings out a wonderful scope, especially for the price point on them. There's so many, and I don't know. It's I think
whatever optic you get, read the manual.
Yeah, right.
It's worth it. Like people, they just want to throw it on their gun and go shooting. So read the manual, learn how to set your zero stop.
Torque rings correctly.
I've been a Loopy guy, Night Force guy. All I know is I've had 3 different brands of scope have issues. Some of them being my fault, some of them not being my fault. And one took over a year to get it back.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So they fixed it. It was not a problem, but it took a year because of no service. Root beer or sarsaparilla? I'm a sarsaparilla guy myself.
Well, definitely not root beer.
Sarsaparilla.
Hey?
Sioux City sarsaparilla. I don't know if you guys have ever had that, but
no.
It's a thing here in Ottawa, the Sioux City sarsaparilla. It's pretty good.
Is that right?
Yeah. And you know what? Support the people that are supporting us. That's another way I look at it. Like
that's right.
The people that are backing our sport, they're the ones that we should be, donating our pennies to.
Yeah. Dan Castillo pipes up with, have you heard of a company called Apex Optics? LOL. He's on the Apex Optics shooting team.
Dan's one of my students.
Yeah,
I don't know if he still is or not, but he was one of my students.
Did he dump you? Did you guys break up?
He didn't dump me. He's a good kid.
So that world championship, where the heck is that? Spain this year? I can't remember that he's going to.
I think it's in Italy.
Italy? Okay.
I think it is.
Right. My brain's full of pipelines and electrical and instrumentation. I'm just a zombie here lately with this project. So yeah, that'll be good for him. I can't remember how many people are going over there from Canada, but they've got quite a good team, it looks like, going there.
Yeah, it'll be good. My only advice to them would be, to the team shooters, is don't let ego get in your way.
That's hard to pull out of a guy, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen many people in like I've had people that 2.5 hours north of Rome. There you go.
Yeah.
It's in Italy. I've seen many people that in 3-gun matches and local matches that could beat me. Now this is going way back,
Right.
way back when I could run. But they could beat me at a club level match, but we'd go to a big match and they'd finish in the 30s and I'd still be in the top 3.
Right. Yeah.
Because the ego, as soon as you know you can beat somebody, then it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're the little fish that jumps into a big pond and you can't control your emotions,
Right. Yeah.
Don't let ego get in the way.
Yeah, we've had this conversation quite a bit on this show. Honestly, it's kind of an interesting phenomenon, hey, and that ability to be truthful with yourself when you're out there shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you were saying before about what was it, an average shooter with a good gun, and then when they miss, when they're off the target, somehow it's the gun that they blame.
Mm-hmm. Like an average shooter with a phenomenal rifle, if that crosshair, if everything's dialed right, and you break that shot in the wrong spot, you are not hitting.
Yeah,
but you got like a shotgun, it might wander onto that plate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying going out and buying a gun that doesn't shoot well, it's not going to do better for you, but you're not going to buy your way up.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then, so other than that, no, I look forward to doing that, put more hours in kayak and more fishing, and
good.
See how everything goes on that side. And I've got a person that's going to be joining me on some of my non-solo trips that's a photographer.
Okay.
He's going to be able to actually, it won't be done on an iPhone, so my Instagram channel, I post a lot of content, but it's done on an iPhone. I'm not one of these guys that can do the editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
No, me neither. I'm not geared that way, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have the last several audio podcasts up on those platforms. Chris is away somewhere in the Pacific. I think he's in Japan now, and he just hasn't had time to do it, and I don't know how. So
yeah, no, and the other thing too is the ego can hurt a sponsorship too. I've seen a lot of people that are sponsored that have the personality of a penny.
Yeah.
So okay. Like, what are you doing for the company? You know what I mean? Be personal. Put the product in other people's hands.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do that. Be friendly. We got a core group of people that we can rib each other pretty hard.
Right.
But we know
that's essential, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The peanut gallery is essential. But you got to know when to pull it back. Like, and some people just don't know when to pull it back, and it really does backfire.
Right.
Down the road, because good news travels fast, and bad news travels 3 times as fast.
Right. Yeah. Especially this day and age where everybody's got some sort of recording device and on all sorts of platforms, and that can slip up one bit.
It doesn't even have to be that. That's the funny thing.
Well, that's true. Hey, yeah.
When we get sponsorship requests, it takes me 5 seconds to know if your numbers are true, because all your matches are on practice score.
Oh yeah.
So if you told me you had 780 shooters, one series,
right?
Maybe it didn't, because I just looked on practice score.
It's true. Yeah.
I had a funny one last year. This was hilarious. I got the most professional email I've ever seen in my life. Facebook page, Instagram page, shout out to sponsors. It was the cleanest looking, professional looking request for sponsorship. I'm like, is this part of an official series, or like, is it a club thing? Oh no, it's a family reunion.
Oh really?
What's your expected shooter count? He's like 30.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, so is Cadex willing to put a pro on the? No, I don't think we're gonna put $5,000 rifle on the
No
table.
kidding.
Not at a family reunion.
Wow.
I told the guy, I'm like, but you know what? You did a better job than a lot of people do when it comes to requests for sponsorships. Like,
That's
he had all the
interesting.
links. We didn't have to ask or anything. I think he ended up getting a gift cert, but it was one of those
Right.
things where it was like, you know, put a little effort into it. It goes a little bit further.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well,
Any questions out there in internet land?
Sling them at us.
Get me off an iPhone on this, and you'll have awesome pictures. Hey, my iPhone is half as old as you are. I'm at the my iPhone does no longer have updates on that one.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
I think I've had that one since 2015.
Holy cow. You're just a couple of notches above the old BlackBerry, hey?
Yeah.
with the scroll button on it.
Yeah. I'd go back to flip if they'd let me.
Too funny.
But yeah.
All right.
No, other than that, everybody keep in touch, and if they ever want anything, let me know.
Sounds good. Where do they find you?
I'm on my Facebook, Cadex Defense's webpage, and my Instagram. It's all under Jamie Barkwell, and yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, if you guys haven't already, check us out. Of course, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/BS podcast. Leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Give us a like if you care to. You can email us at info@bspodcast.ca if it's just to grind us. We'd love to hear from you. Also want to give a shout out again to all our amazing sponsors. If it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this, boring people. Saying stupid shit on the internet. Shane and Steve with EM Precision Rifles, Miles, Carey, and Cappy with call sign 66, Duncan and Rob at Bolt Action Coffee, Phil Odell at Odell Engineering, Doug and Niza with March Scopes Canada, Vanya and Carly with Apex Optics, Oscar with Ribstone Gunsmithing, and JR at the Shooting Edge in Calgary, Alberta. Thanks very much, and sorry for the sort of low energy coming from me today. I am whooped, and like I said, Chris is off on holiday, a well-deserved holiday finally, and yeah, they're traveling through Japan right now, and I think he talked about actually visiting one of the oldest was it Muay Thai or BJJ club, not necessarily building, but club in Japan.
That would be cool.
Yeah, like I can't remember. He said it was over 100 years old or something like that. So,
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know if that's right.
If he could videotape himself snorting wasabi, at that I will send him a patch.
I'll send him a message with that exact request.
Just a one-liner of wasabi.
Well, he did drink South Saskatchewan River water. I don't know whether it was upstream or downstream from the water treatment plant, but yeah, he did drink it.
Like I saw a dude. We were in a place that looked like the good Lord himself took his finger and drew heaven.
Oh,
and it was just like crystal clear water flowing, and just hands in, and I'm like, I walk upstream about 200 meters, and it was a 100-foot tall beaver dam just full. I'm like,
sure.
Oh my God. Sorry, buddy.
That's funny.
Something's going to tell you to poop your pants soon. So.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Don't
All right.
water.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right
okay,
on.
Jamie, thanks so much for coming on.
No problem. Folks, anytime.
You betcha. We hope you enjoyed the show, got something out of it, and we will see you next week.
This right here has the ability with a 30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS, ballistically speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.